quick video how to wall mount a Samsung QN90D. It applies to most of the Samsung models, to be honest, and other TVs as well. So I've got just a standard fixed flat wall mount. This is a Hama one. I'll put a link in the description box below. Plenty of other brands available. So in the box you get a universal screw pack, and we'll be wanting the M8 bolts out of there. A plate which attaches to the wall. And two arms to attach to the back of the TV. The quick setup guide on this TV specifies about 12mm M8 bolts, or 12 to 13mm. The pack comes with 10mm, so they're not quite long enough. You might get them in without a washer on, but I do like a washer on them. So I've got the 20mm bolts out, and they come with a plastic spacer there. So the remaining thread length should be 14mm, which will do. So one on the screwdriver. I'm going to arrange the arm to be about there somewhere for my convenience. So pop the bolt in, just give it a turn. He says make sure it's not cross-threaded, feels a bit dodgy there. There we go. And one top tip is, you can see that's got slack on there. If I just pull this arm up here and nip up the slack, one in there as well, that's the bottom one, quickly whip that in. Same thing for this side. So that slack, just pull it up again as you nip the bolt up. Pop the bottom one in. This will be on the wall, the TV will hook on there like so, and then you've got some screws there to secure and wind up so it can't be lifted off accidentally. And also on these particular brackets you've got room to slide it, oh he says, so far each way. If I know, for example, where I want the top or the bottom of the TV to be on the wall, I can measure from the top of the TV down to the top of my bracket. So to me that's about 280mm or 28 centimeters. So I can use that measurement now on the wall where I've marked the top of the TV. This is my perforated wooden wall where I've mounted many other TVs, but ignore that. So I've got a line there indicating where I want the top of the TV. Also marked a centre line so I can get it central. I said 280mm or 28 centimeters down from that top line. So 28 centimeters down, I've put a line there. So that is top of the TV to the top of where I'm going to mount the bracket. And my spirit level, I just put a nice level line across there as well. So hopefully that shows. Okay, so marking the bracket, spirit level on the top to get it level. And if you do get a bracket with a bubble built in, don't trust it, put your spirit level on the top, and preferably a bigger spirit level than what I've used. I've marked the 4 slots that I'm going to drill to. I might actually make it 5 just for the sake of it. So there, there, there and there. And I'll just put X's on them because I've got that many marks. I don't actually know what I'm doing anymore. So this wall is chipboard with studs behind it, 20mm thick, whatever. So I can just pre-drill wood screws straight into that and it'll be nice and secure. Obviously if you've got a brick wall, use the appropriate fixings. If you've got a modern house with a dot and dab wall, you have a little cavity and then your breeze block. I usually use the concrete screws like window fitters use, 100mm ones or something, where you pilot drill a 6mm hole through the board into the block, and then you can screw the fixing straight into the block without a plug, feel it grip and be nicely secure. You can't pull them away like you would with plugs. but use the appropriate fixings for your wall type. I've got a mill drill bit and I'm just going to pre-drill my holes for the wood screws. Now I've got 5 wood screws with small washers on, so I'm just going to wind one in loosely to start with. And I'll just nip that gently. Wind this one part way in. And spirit level back on the top. Make sure the bracket's level before I tighten up any screws. Okay, so nice and level. I can now whip the 3 remaining screws in. And that should be nice and solid on the wall. To remove the TV from its base, if you've got it already on a base, same for most Samsungs again, and a lot of TVs in general. So there are 2 tabs holding the TV on once I remove those 4 screws. If you're slightly nervous, stand someone in front of the TV to steady it so it can't drop, or put some cushions, whatever. But basically wind these screws out times 4. Okay, so just those 2 plastic tabs now holding it, so you've got to be dead careful when you move around it. Don't want to knock it over and smash the screen. That's probably what will happen. And it should just, if I just tilt it there and lift it up, that is it loose. I've actually now threaded my cables through the wall, and for me, I've got a void. Some people might have trunking, some people just let the cables dangle, up to you. But I'm going to hook it onto that plate, which is a bit tricky on your own. If you're doing this on your own, I've got my hand on the bottom of the TV and I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm letting all the pressure go onto my hand so I don't squeeze the screen and crack it, because it can happen quite easily. And if I just lift it up above and slide it down, it's hooked onto that rail and I can just slide it across there nicely. So get my cables in and that is it, ready to go. Full unboxing video, I've put a link in the description below, or a card up there and whatever. So there's a full unboxing video for this Samsung QN90D for 2024. You've got 2 of you, you can hold it off the wall and plug your cables in before you do it, and it makes life much easier. Right, everything is plugged into the TV, and just for reference, the TV is 26.9mm thick, and overall off the wall it stands at about maybe, I don't know, 49mm. So the bracket's probably 20 odd mil in profile. You can get slimmer brackets if you want it dead tight and flat to the wall, which I do like sometimes, to be honest, depending on where cables are coming. But 49mm off the wall looks quite nice and tidy. Peely ting, and get that screen cover off, nice and immaculate underneath.